Hi Codies, I'm your host Tiffany. In this video, we will be discussing arrays.
Fans, are you ready?
What is an array? An array is a collection of data that is normally related to each other. For example, suppose we wanted to store the ages of 4 users. Instead of storing them as int user age 1 and int user age 2 and int user age 3, we can just store them as an array. We can declare an array using the following format.
Are you ready?
Int brackets user age and semicolon, or int user age semicolon. As you've probably figured out, int indicates the data type of the array. More importantly, the int array values are assigned to the user name variable. Now that we've declared an array variable, we have to create an array to assign to the variable user age.
Are you ready?
To do this, we type int bracket user age and semicolon. On the next line, we type user age, assign new int, bracket, curly brace, 20, 33, 30, 45, and close it with a semicolon. So just to be clear, the first statement declares an array variable being user age. The second statement creates an array of 4 int values and then assign it to the variable user age. Hey, we can even do this in one statement. Int brackets user age, assignment operator, new int, brackets, curly brace, 20, space, 33, space, 30, space, 45, and close it with a semicolon. We can even simplify it a little more. We type int bracket user age, assignment operator, curly brace, 20, space, 33, space, 30, space, and 45, and close it with a semicolon. Another thing I want to point out is that once you initialize an array, the array size cannot change. Our user age array holds 4 values from here on out because we initialized it with 4 values. The last way to declare and initialize an array is as follows. Int bracket user age, assignment operator, new int, bracket, inside the brackets 4, come outside of the brackets and close it with a semicolon. We declared an array, user age, and we initialized it with an array of 4 integer values. In doing it this way, we did not specify the values. Instead, we specified the size of the array, and in this case, it's 4. In addition, Java automatically creates default values when choosing to declare and initialize arrays using this format. The default values are zeros, and these values can be updated by accessing them through their index position. We discussed index positions in the last video, but we're going to do a quick walkthrough in this video.
Are you ready?
The first element index position is 0. The second is 1. The third is 2. And the fourth is 3, and so forth. Here's what the format looks like to update these positions.
Are you ready?
User age, bracket, inside the bracket, a 0. Assign the value of 22. Close it with a semicolon. User age, brackets, inside the brackets, number 1. That's the second index. We assign the value 33. Semicolon. User age, brackets, inside the brackets, 2. That's the third index. And we're going to assign the value of 44. User age, bracket, 3 inside the brackets, and we're going to assign the value of 55, and so forth. Here's what the new value stored inside the array looks like. Moving on to array methods. Like strings, arrays come with a number of pre-written methods. These methods are found in the java.util.Arrays class. So in order to add them, we must add the import statement. Import java.util.Arrays, semicolon. Now I'm going to create and initialize 3 arrays.
Are you ready?
The first array is int, bracket, array numbers 1, assignment operator, curly brace. Inside the curly brace, the number 1, comma, 27, comma, 19, and close it with a semicolon. The second array is int, bracket, array numbers 2, assignment operator, 1, comma, 27, comma, 19, close it with a semicolon. Third array, int, bracket, array numbers 3, assignment operator, curly brace, 27, comma, 19, comma, 1. Outside the curly brace, close it with a semicolon. Now I'm going to create a Boolean variable. I'm going to call it isTrue. I'm going to use the assignment operator and type arrays dot equals. Inside the parentheses, I'm going to type array numbers 1, comma, and array numbers 2. Outside the parentheses, I'm going to close it with a semicolon because I want to see if those two numbers are equal. On the next line, I'm going to create another Boolean variable, and I'm going to call it isFalse. I'm going to use the assignment operator and type arrays dot equals. Inside the parentheses, I'm going to type array numbers 2, comma, and arrays numbers 3. Outside the parentheses, I'm going to close it with a semicolon. So now I'm going to system.out.println. Inside the parentheses, I'm going to leave a string that displays the result value is. I'm going to leave a space. Outside the quote, I'm going to use a plus sign, and I'm going to type the variable isTrue because I want to display the value stored in isTrue. I'm going to close it with a semicolon. On the next line, I'm going to do the same exact thing, but at the end, I want to display the value stored in isFalse. And then I'm going to close it with a semicolon. Let's run our program. And voila, it works. As you probably see, array numbers 1 and array numbers 2, they're equally the same because they're the exact same numbers in the same exact position. So they're equal. And if you look at array number 2 and arrays number 3, you see that those numbers, they're the same numbers, but they're not the same because they're not in the same spot. So they're not equal. The next method we're going to cover is the copy of range method. This method allows us to copy the contents of one array into another array. Create more arrays. Int, bracket, my scores, assignment operator, curly brace, the value 78, comma, 82, comma, 89, comma, 95, comma, 100. Now I'm going to close it with a semicolon. On the next line, I'm going to create another array because suppose we want to copy our last 4 scores. In that case, we type int bracket copied scores, assignment operator, arrays dot copy of score, inside the parentheses, my scores. And I want to copy scores from index 1 to index 4. Don't worry about this next part because we have not discussed loops yet. However, I want to print this to the screen. And in order for me to walk through an entire array and collect each element that's in the array, I need to use a loop. In this case, I used a for loop. If I don't use a loop, it won't display right. Now I'm going to system.out.println. Inside the parentheses, I'm going to type a meaningful string. Outside that string, I'm going to use the plus sign and use the variable name, copied score. Let's run our program. And voila, it works. The next method we're going to discuss is the toString method. The toString method returns a string that represents the information stored in the array. This makes displaying array content easier. Suppose we have int bracket values assign curly brace 1, 27, 19, 10, 16, and close it with a semicolon. If we system.out.println inside the parentheses type arrays dot toStrings, inside the parentheses the variable name, in this case values, outside the parentheses close it with a semicolon. Let's run our program. And voila, it works. Let's suppose we want to sort through our array. We can do this by using the sort method. Let's create an array and name it values. We're going to assign the numbers 1, 27, 19, 10, and 16. And then we're going to close it with a semicolon. On the next line, we're going to type arrays.sort. Inside the parentheses, we're going to leave the variable name, which is values, and close it with a semicolon. Now we're going to go to the next line and we're going to system.out.println. Inside the parentheses, we're going to type arrays.toString. Inside the parentheses, we're going to type the variable name, which is values. And then we're going to close it with a semicolon. Let's run our program. And voila, it works. The values array has been assorted in ascending order, meaning least to greatest. Let's suppose now that we've sorted our array, we wanted to search for a particular value. In order to do this, we would use the binarySearch method. Now we're going to create an int and we're going to name it index num, and we're going to assign array.binarySearch inside the parentheses the value and the number we're searching for, which is 27. Then we're going to close it with a semicolon. On the next line, I'm going to system.out.println. Inside the parentheses, I'm going to type the variable name, which is index num, and I'm going to close it with a semicolon. Let's run our program. And voila, it works. I'm going to go back to the top and I'm going to system.out.println. Inside the parentheses, I'm going to type arrays.toString. Inside those parentheses, I'm going to type values. I'm going to move outside of the parentheses and close it with a semicolon. The program worked as expected. However, I want to give you a better visual of what's going on. Let's run our program. And voila, it works. We have index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. The 27 is in the fourth index. Now let's suppose we want to find out the length of our array. I'm going to skip a line and I'm going to system.out.println. Inside the parentheses, I'm going to create a string. Inside the string, I'm going to type our array holds. I'm going to come outside of that string and use the plus sign because I want to join that string statement with the length value. On the other side, I'm going to type another plus, and I'm going to open up a pair of quotes. I'm going to put a space and values, and I'm going to move outside of the parentheses and close it with a semicolon. In case it's a little confusing, because I system.out.println and I use the string and then I use the concatenating signs, which are the plus signs. In case that is a little confusing, I'm going to go on the next line and I'm going to system.out.println. Inside the parentheses, I'm just going to use the method itself, values.length, and get out of the parentheses and close it with a semicolon. Let's run our program. And voila, it works. That wraps things up. I ask that if you found this video helpful, hit the like button, comment, share, subscribe. Most importantly, make sure your notifications are turned on. Thanks for watching.